First Nations and our people that been living here for thousands of years. Stand up. We've been fighting for our freedom since the Nina and the Pinta and the Santa Maria. Stand up. Like Geronimo, Sitting Bull, Red Cloud, Crazy Horse, Leonard Peltier. Stand up. Now they poisoning the waters for our sons and our daughters, so we on the frontier. We one nation, one cause, one people, one tribe. Now it's us against the pipeline. Get on your feet for standing rock, and we'll show you how strong we could be when we unify.
To all my native people, recognize yourself, keep your head up. To all my tribal people, recognize yourself, keep your head up. To all my native people, to all the original people, to all my indigenous people, recognize yourself, keep your head up. Stand up, stand up, stand up.
We've been sharing information about the Nina and the Pinta that are the Columbus replica ships, but they still represent and are symbolic of the Christopher Columbus ships, which has to do with a lot of cannibalism, pedophilia, murder, rape, everything that they've done to our people. They've stolen our people, they've put them on these ships, and they've taken them to other lands and have eaten and have abused them physically and sexually. This continues to date on some of those ships that they are being sent out in. That's why we don't need any new ports anywhere around Aguasasne or any other places like that. The other day we went to Albany. A few people from Aguasasne, along with myself, who is Chata or Choctaw. We went there and we confronted the Nina and the Pinta and the captain of the Columbus ships, and we let them know that we are saying no entrance, and that we do not want cannibalism here. We don't want pedophilia here. We don't want murderers, rapists, and thieves, and people of that matter. Those are from the Columbus ship. There is a difference. There are the white people who are the white tribe, and there are the white race. There's a big difference between both of them. The white race are cannibals, and those are the Columbus ships and the people who came with them. We've been sharing this information about the Columbus ships, where it is in the stars, and how it pertains, and what is going on right now. This is all a plan, and it has been, because if you look into these sky maps, you will see that they are exactly where they're supposed to be at this time. And that's why we are exactly where we're supposed to be, ahead of them, and we're stopping them, and we're going to hit them at every port. We want the people to know that you need to also get out there and get to these ports where they're coming. We need to see the support, and for you to say no too. These are your ancestors who were taken on these ships. This is your family members. These are tribal members. These are people from here who were taken on these ships, and that's when they say ship them in, ship them out. You got to know that these words have meanings. Although I have been explaining this and sharing the truth, I also want to introduce you to a friend through video. His name is Meredith Quinn. He is an international legal advisor, registered with the United Nations. At that time, he has passed. He took his journey 20 years ago when he went to the hospital after sharing much information with the people. And he didn't make it back from the hospital, and that's why a lot of things happen like that, and that's why we don't go to hospitals unless something's broken. That's why we use the minerals and everything to heal our bodies now. You got to stay away from those hospitals because they are deadly. I'm going to introduce you and let you hear the words from Meredith Quinn from himself, and I will do that right now.
Pete, they were being attacked. This white nation was being attacked by a huge nation of cannibals.
Cannibal?
Well,
You're talking my language now. I can identify the cannibal for you. Because do you ever notice why the white man has fish on Friday? Now, remember that law I told you? What is the name of that? Doctrine? Haynes Doctrine. That's an agreement that the white men had to sign down and say that they would no longer ever kill an Indian, cut him up, make steaks out of him, have the Jewish rabbi bless it, and sell it in the meat market. Now you know why the pain doctor came about? See, scalping came from Europe. And so they used to scale, you know, like scalping Indians out here was big business. Even among the millionaires are prejudiced against one another because of two groups. The one that's called the old money are the families that made all their money off human steaks, scalps, and all that sort of thing. That's called old money. The new money, they do not associate with the old money. So even among them, they have their own prejudice. But anyways, scalping got so good, the white man thought he really had it, right? So he come out to where I was. And only we learned how to do it really good. I mean, we were good. We were so good that the civilized nations had to sit down with the Dakota Empire to say, we now have to determine that it's a crime against humanity by scalping them. And we had to agree that we would no longer ever scalp the white man again. And that comes from the Payne's doctrine. Never mind what these colleges say, oh, scalping comes from bullshit. We were just good at it. We took the one thing that the white man scared, and that is to go around clean shaven on the head. And I like to remind him of that. Okay, so cannibalism. So cannibalism was part of the white race. Now there's a difference between the white tribes and the white race. Like, it's the same identity when we say Washishina, we know that's a member of the white tribe. And then the Washisho is the white race. The cannibals are the white race. Yeah, it's the same with, you ever hear of St. Paul, Minnesota? That was the capital of our empire. It used to be called Ototo. And white people, tribal people that got driven from their countries over in Europe, they came there and they lived with us. I can take you a lot of towns in Minnesota. Who, I'm sorry, when you come into town as a Sioux man, you're treated like a king. You know why? Because they were given territories, you understand, to live in and not to be molested. That the Dakota people gave to them. There's a lot of that back where I come from. So it's not always the same, all white men are prejudiced. It's not so. So, no fish on Friday is the fact because of Payne's doctrine. And you got to remember, when you ate steak, Indian steak, that was called the long pig. And from everybody that I've ever read on it said the long pig tasted a great deal like the short pig or swine. So the church doctrine of not eating any meat on Friday, it was put in there to make sure that the people through generations would stop eating human steak or stop practicing cannibalism. So you're talking about the people that were attacked that were cannibals? That's what they were.
So cannibalism was going on before Columbus?
Well, yeah, Columbus, it took 10 years to kill all the Indians in the Caribbean.
Because they say that's when cannibalism first...
No, that's where it's at. It took 10 years to kill every Indian in the Caribbean. Did you know there are no Indians in the Caribbean? It took 10 years because it was used as a food supply going back and forth across the Atlantic. And that's recorded documentation on this man. It took 10 years to wipe out every Indian in the Caribbean. And there are no Indians in the Caribbean.
I also want to show you, you might have to come in real close, but these are the next stops. You may want to go a little closer. But these are the next stops. We came into where was we? New York. We was in Albany. You can see that it's labeled here. He come all the way up through the coastline of his original route. Now he's trying to enter through here, which we don't want him here, nor people like him. Our friends hit him at Oswego, and we have more friends in Ohio that we need to get organized with, so that we say no in every area. Here are the ending parts of the Columbus. It's kind of like a sneak attack because they're all in black. They're traveling at night, they're using the stars, and they're going to be stealing, and they're going to be trying to kidnap somebody, so if not a few people. So we need to look into the galleys in the bottoms, which I'm sure that they do not allow people to go to the bottoms, because if it is an exact replica, you will see chains, you will see places where people were hurt, killed, captured, encaged, and things like that. So we need to get in there and take a look. We're going to finish here. We want you to know that we're here, we're doing all we can. We need you to get out there also, get in those canoes and stop these ships. Know the truth, learn the truth. We've given it to you, now use it. Protect our people.